All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So kind of an interesting group of stocks I'm going to do here, okay? First and foremost is MVIS, and hey, I'm going to be honest. I'm getting worried, all right? I hope you can see it yourself because you've been watching my videos and you've learned a lot and you're getting so much better and you can anticipate what I'm saying, right? I really do hope that, okay? But this has me concerned. NASDAQ did not do very well today. I'm going to flash that as well, but MVIS, we're gonna talk about some stuff, and you know I'm not here to be a fanboy, right? Like I know a lot of people watch these videos, especially for this ticker, and I appreciate you so much. But yeah, I hope you know my value is not giving you a fake hope when I'm not seeing it. All right. From there, we're going to talk about SIRI. Yo, SIRI crushed it. And it wasn't that long ago, if you go back into my YouTube history, I actually said SIRI was looking good. I actually had a good amount in SIRI, but then started seeing these other hot stocks that I took money out of SIRI and I'm kicking myself in the ass. I'm not going to lie to you, but SIRI crushed it. And again, I actually call that being a good recent setup. And then I want to talk about TLRY on this video. You know, normally I do a wheat sector breakout, and I haven't. I've been really busy actually at work, but I want to talk about TLRY for sure because it has me just a little worried to say the least. So all that said, before we go any further, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, excuse me, RSI and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video on the internet, comment good or bad. Hey, if you disagree with me, I'm not here to hate on you, okay? I think educated people sharing thoughts and opinions can do really good things for both sides, you know? So let's get into it and let's talk about the immediate. I think this is the best zoom. It was, sorry. So the last time I made this video, we were basically bouncing on this 50. All right. And the comment essentially was, look, if we can get over the 20 moving average, there's reason to believe. You know, I don't know if I put a money line. I honestly don't remember. But yeah, if we could have gotten over this candle, especially 460, give or take. Oh, man. Right. Because again, I'm gonna delete it. But yeah, if we could have gotten over this, green, red, green really would have been the hope, you know what I mean? And you can see it. We actually wicked it on this day, but it's all about the 20 moving average. And that was obviously over it, but not a good break. That was obviously over it, but not a good break. And again, I've said this a number of times, just being over a line and breaking a line are two very different things, okay? And clearly that wasn't it. I also generally say, look, it's hard to break one line. It's even harder to break 2 lines. Can you imagine how hard it is to break 3, more than half of the 5 I'm covering? And that's just what happened. And instead of kind of going horizontal with it, because again, once you have 3 or more, I start to call that a cluster, it kind of seems like we're falling. It does it not? We are just and I say this the day after the doji can get scary, and it wasn't a wildly big candle, but we're actually under my line right here as well, right? That was the thick of this plateau. That was roughly 50% of both of these candles. We are now sitting at another green. The horizontal is down here. The good thing really is we have these 2 lines, and it should, again, just as hard as it is to break multiple lines, it should be hard to lose multiple lines. My honest concern, so this is a tighter stack than these, all right? And I would hate it if it takes 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 days for it to come down to this, because in those 4 days, I hate zooming in, I'm so sorry, these lines might keep separating and keep separating and keep separating, and it might make it easier to battle this one by itself and then this one by itself. Ultimately, this 312 should be the lowest MVIS goes. And by the way, everyone seems to like the name MVIS instead of MVIS, but it should not lose the 200 moving average, but if it does, if these two lines go away, if we actually hit 3, I really think it's going to be a hard drop down to here, because basically this plateau is also basically the top of this. That's not that good a candle in my book. Maybe it's this one, and at that point, at this one, you're basically at the top of the plateau. I would draw my line here, and I'm going to. I think it's worth drawing. I think what I will do is do, shit, was it the, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw it on the top of this. We're going to draw it at a little bit of the top of the horizontal. Normally I do it in the middle, but it ends up being the bottom of this, kind of the top of that. Like, I'll take this line. But if we lose, what number was that, 315? Yeah, if we lose 312, 310, 305, I think it will be a quick drop to 250. All right, I am not liking this MACD, which is now in the negative. I am not liking this RSI, which is now, it's still diverging in my opinion. And again, diverging, just a fancy way of saying the two lines are going away, but it's diverging the wrong way. We want the green to go up. We want the green to go up. This kind of seems like it's about to fall, and those two lines are going away. And then just look at this. Volume has been wildly pathetic since these two. And I mean, just really since this day right here, since middle of June, it's been pretty pathetic to say the least, right? So I'm legit worried. I think 312 is very realistic. I hope that holds, and that's the lowest this thing goes, okay? Let's look at the weekly real quick again. Man, this thing is kind of 330. I'm going to draw this. I want to see what this looks like on the daily. Where does that go? That's basically this one. Again, I hope our two lines hold. I think the fact that the weekly has these two right here makes me a little confident that the blue line will hold. Again, a little extra confident that the purple line will hold. It should be hard to lose these, but I think we're coming down here. All right, and look, if we can hit this and bounce up, that could be a good place to average up. If we go back, it could be a good place to re-enter if you sold once we lost the 8 and the 20, right? Like, interesting things can happen down here for sure. So one more time, I think my value here is not being a fanboy, all right? And I hope the team does appreciate that, you know what I mean? So cool, that is MVIS. All right, SIRI, I am kicking myself for real. What's this doing after hours? You still running? Oh, wow. I didn't think that this was going to drop. I'll be honest with you. I actually thought that this would kind of go. So real quick, if you go back to my videos, I actually said that this was a juicy setup. And if I'm not mistaken, it might have been down here. Because what did it do? It broke all 4 of these, and it should have ran to that, right? And sadly for me, if I'm not mistaken, it was right here, okay? This thing started to go down as a bunch of other hot stocks started coming my way. Because I keep saying it, viewer requests are getting better and better and better and better. Like, the comment section in my YouTube channel is fire, all right? Nothing's financial advice, but either people are getting better, either more, like, I don't know what it is, but like, I know a lot of the people that I remember asking some, like, I don't want to say beginner questions, because I don't want to be rude by any means, but like, people that were asking questions before are dropping fire today, and I love it, you know what I mean? But I sold more than I should have right here. I never bought back in after we got over that hump, and I'm just so sad to see this move with far too little of my money. But what I actually find crazy, and you know, normally I don't go this far out. Look at where we're at on the monthly, all right? Like, we have actually surpassed this line. Like, we closed up here, okay? This is like, and I'm curious if post-market, dude, post-market is still over this. It's kind of at it now, you can argue, but my goodness, where's this line? Is that the same as the line I was looking at? It basically was. Look, that right there is roughly the top and bottom of both of those. Basically the top of that. Looks like it's another top and bottom. Like, this is an important line right here, 696. After 696, what are you seeing that I hope I see, right? Green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 whole mess of nothing, whole mess of nothing, whole mess of nothing, green, 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 green. Okay? So Wow, right? Look, this is a hardcore weekly RSI. Let me go back to regular hours. This is a hardcore weekly RSI, but man, at the same time, that's a hardcore MACD. All right. And truth be told, this is actually a stable volume. There was no silly like 60, 70, 80x thing that we've seen. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's a relatively big pop. That's kind of a bigger random pop, you know? So, that's a strong candle, and just even today was a strong candle, right? Break all the moving averages on the daily and run, right? And broke this little horizontal and ran. And like I said, it was easier to see it on the monthly because there's a little bit of a distance between what happens after this and the takeoff up, right? But SIRI dropped the hammer. I don't know if there was any real news that justified this 40%. And maybe in some ways that's, excuse me, that's why it's coming down after hours. I'll be real honest with you. I am going to look at this tomorrow morning. And yeah, if this thing can open a penny, if this thing can go a penny higher, excuse me, I need water. 782 is where I'm going to set my alert. So I got to pause and drink water. Excuse me. Hey, sorry about that. I always say my videos are unedited, and that's an easy way of seeing it. But again, I can't set alerts. I got to delete some, but I would set an alert. You see that at 782. Break 782, and I think that there's some room to run here. Again, the weekly today was a big one, right? Maybe, if I had to guess, maybe we can come to here. 655, give or take. Again, is that where we're at post market? No, not yet. But I don't know if we're going to come. I think we'll go lower than that maybe. And that's why I said I kind of came to like 50% of this. Looks like it's the bottom of that and that as well. This could be an interesting place to kind of try to get a stink bid, a 650. But SIRI, I think there's some really, excuse me, I hiccups now. Fuck, this ain't going well. I think there's some interesting things going on here on SIRI. And again, I'm kicking myself for unloading for two silly red candles that never even lost the 8. Just me being honest and personal with you guys right here. So, last one here is tilray. I'm so disappointed in how all this is going. Give me a sec. I'm going to close my door. One more pause. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. So sorry. So look, I was very bullish. All right. This day breaks two let me come in. This day breaks two moving averages. This day confirms really well, gets us over this. And then, I mean, even this day right here puts us over anything. I am wildly shocked that July 14th didn't go here or here. All right. And dude, I don't know if this was a CGC day. I'm not covering CGC here, but what happened on the 14th? Ah, man, maybe that was the day that CGC dropped 40%. And I think that's what killed Tilly. But like, I'm telling you, look, I've never said that like my stack is the best ever guaranteed. You know, I have a better stack. There is no member version, by the way. There are no members, private members, but my The One has more indicators than we have here. My The One is what I move my money on. Even my The One looked like Tilly was looking good. All right. There are things that can happen that make all of these colorful lines just so irrelevant. You know what I mean? And I can't believe, one more time, just look at this. Let me just draw the line. I can't believe that this day closes above this, well above this, into our amazing thick of nothing gap fill. And even just zooming back, there's still no prehistory that like there is nothing I can say. And it's one of those moments where you always need to have stop losses. All right. You always need to like remember that nothing's guaranteed. You always got to remember that there's no such thing as a safe trade or any of that. Right. Like we're here trying to move the odds in our favor just a little bit. Las Vegas does really well with 52 versus 48% odds. You know what I mean? Like Steve Wynn is a billionaire on 52 to 48% odds, right? So that's what we're trying to do here for real. This to this, and then obviously consequently after is just You know, there's nothing good I can say. You know, so from there, where are we at today? We actually lost the 8 and the 20 today. We did, and man, I'm hoping that this 20 moving average can hold us. Because I always do say 80% of the work is up here, but I'm not liking the MACD. I'm not liking the RSI, and I'm not even liking volume that much anymore. Like, I don't know if I need to be worried that we're going to lose this 20 moving average. And what is this line now? What is that line now? Again, you're going to see it on the weekly. That's our all-time low. If we lose 151, I always say it. I'm ready for this thing to lose 20%. And then another 20 after that, right? So that would be 30 cents here, and that would put us at about 120 if we lose this 150, right? So tomorrow, it's all about holding 165. I would love for this thing to close at 172 or at least 170, get over this line, you know, but the big story here again is this 13th to 14th, and just so sad to say the least. I know I covered CGC on that day. I don't think I've covered TLRY since then, so I'm glad I can at least share a couple thoughts here. But let me know your thoughts again. Otherwise, thank you as always. Thank you.